Hey everybody, welcome back. If you're new, my name is Chris, and today is a video I've been meaning to do for a long time, and I've been asked to do, but I've been dragging my heels for many reasons. One is I'm not really an expert in this field. I'm not an expert in any perfume field, but I do have a lot of perfumes that are categorized under the blanket of being clean. Now, clean and natural doesn't mean, clean and natural perfumes do not mean the same thing. Clean typically means free of harmful ingredients, and natural means, just like the name says, found naturally in the environment. Some people seem to think that natural is better than lab or synthetically created molecules. That's not always the case. In many cases, lab created perfumery or fragrances, notes that are created in the lab are actually better for the environment than using all natural ingredients. For example, we don't typically use musk, which is from a live animal, which is a good thing. That was a horrible practice, so for the most part we use botanical musk. Similarly, poison ivy is 100% natural, but you don't want to get that on your skin. And if you're looking for a particular type of essential oil from a certain type of rose and you spend a lot of time and effort getting it transported to you, that will leave a large carbon footprint. And finally, using natural sandalwood has almost depleted certain species of sandalwood, so lab created perfumery has actually been quite an advancement in the arena of perfume. So there's a lot of give and take. I myself enjoy things in nature. That's why I like to film outside using the sun as my light and the elements as my backdrop. There's always a give and take because I have to deal with the elements and the weather and the critters that join me out here. To sum it up, since there's really no regulatory body that is keeping an eye on these clean and organic and natural perfumes, it's really up to the consumer to do their homework. And the consumer, you guys know what you're looking for and what you're trying to avoid. And I will say, the perfumes that I've chosen, these houses for the most part are really good about being very transparent about what is in their perfumes. And I've been to most of these websites and I think they're pretty good about listing what's there. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I had about 30 perfumes I was going to talk about, which is absolutely insane. And at the last minute, I just cut it down at least by half. Fragrances that I've been wearing more now, and I will do another video in the colder months that showcase cleanly formulated perfumes that I tend to wear more in the winter time. And with that, I'm just going to dive right in before it rains on me. So I'm going to go through these kind of quickly. The first one has been one that I love to wear in the summertime. This is one of the best hot weather perfumes ever, and it's by Floral Street, and it is called Arizona Bloom. This is a molecular type of fragrance. This reminds me a lot, or it will put you in the ballpark, or it's very similar to Another 13 by Le Labo, that kind of your skin musk but better. But this has coconut, so this is a coconut form of a musky your skin but better. It also has a note of pepper, which is pretty prominent in the beginning, and it does fade, but there's just something about this perfume that even though it's present, it's not a very light and ethereal fragrance. It has presence, it wears lightly, so it's not stifling, and it's not a freshie, but it wears really, it just goes with really hot summer days. And there are several in this line that I enjoy, but this is my only full bottle, so that is my Floral Street. The next one is by a clean fragrance house from Australia, and I think I have 3 out of their 4 perfumes. This one is called Strange Paradise, and it's a very summery. It's hibiscus, pineapple, there's coconut, you've got rum, so it really does have that kind of tropical drink vibe. Very summery because it reminds me of a tropical drink. So there is coconut, you've got rum, you've got pineapple. So you're thinking it's kind of like a little pina colada vibe, but there's also hibiscus in here, some more other florals. But it's got that nice, light, tropical drink vibe with a light floral running through it. This is another one that's very refreshing. It's perfect in the hot weather. It's perfect on a scorching day because it's not overwhelming. None of those notes are very strong. The downside is it does wear lightly, so you do have to, if you do want a strong perfume, listen, there's a general theme in all these perfumes. None of them are monsters, none of them. Most of them are light wearing, number one, because they are cleanly formulated. I find that most of my cleanly formulated fragrances wear lightly with a few exceptions, and these are ones that I like to wear in the summertime. I'm not going to choose any heavy ambers to be showing right now, so I highly recommend checking out this brand. There's really something for everyone from Zimmer. I feel like a broken record with this next perfume. It is from one of the best cleanly formulated houses, and that is Henry Rose. I think I liked pretty much everything in that entire line. There's a few new ones I haven't tried, and I fell in love with this one immediately. Queens and Monsters. This is an award winner. This is a sweet, warm, musky, vanillic sandalwood that is not a gourmand. Oh, I just love it. It has a freshness, a greenness in the very beginning, maybe a little bit of neroli, but it doesn't really smell like typical neroli or orange blossom, or it doesn't smell like typical neroli or orange blossom, but it does have a little bit greenness and some vague florals in the background. But the dry down in this one is where it's at. It is a vanillic, musky sandalwood. It is stunning. This one has wonderful performance, and I was so in love with it, I bought the matching body cream. This is one of the best body butters I've ever purchased. I'm a huge body butter fan and lover, and you could actually get this in lieu of buying the perfume. It's very emollient, and it has a fabulous aroma. You can really smell it. So highly recommend checking out the brand Henry Rose if you have a chance and if you're interested, because they actually have wonderful discovery sets, and I think you can pick and choose which ones you want, or they have several different options. There's something for everybody in that house. One of the more higher end offerings is from a house called the Harmonist, and I have 3 full bottles, and I love that house. And the next full bottle is going to be the one I hold in my hand, which is called Yin Transformation. I absolutely love this. And this is the parfum. There's a difference between this one, and I got the eau de parfum on their website. There is a difference. I actually prefer the parfum. But before I get into the nuances of the fragrance, I did kind of want to tell you about the house. I did want to tell you about the point of view of the house, because it is unique. It is a very kind of a feng shui point of view, and what they believe is that there are 5 elements that are the building blocks of all natural phenomenon, and it's wind. I had to write down. So it's wood, fire, earth, water, and metal. And each of us possesses all 5 of these elements inside, but we are guided for the most part by maybe one element. And it all comes down to where we were born and when we were born. So you can take this neat little quiz on their website. You plug in where you were born, date, time, and it'll come up with basically your element or your 2 elements. And interestingly enough, I had gotten the discovery set. 2 of my favorite perfumes were actually some of my elements. And a few of my favorite fragrances from the line will not be shown on this video because they are fragrances I wear in the colder months. But by far my favorite fragrance for the warmer months is Yin Transformation. So I would describe this as a watery floral, one of the prettiest watery florals. It's fresh, it's citrusy, it's watery, it has a clean musk and a very gentle sweetness, I want to say from amber. Now the difference between the parfum and the eau de parfum. So the eau de parfum has more florals, pink pepper, and tea, and is slightly more earthy. This one, the parfum, is more watery, it's more fresh, it has a lightness, it's a little bit more ethereal. It's just something that I prefer, even though both are beautiful. So I highly recommend. Speaking of natural, there's some natural rain falling on me right now. I highly recommend checking out the website. And if you want me to do a house review on the Harmonist, I can absolutely do that, because in between my full bottles and my discovery sets and travel sizes, I think I have all of their offerings. So let me know down below and I can do that in a month or so. So the next perfume is from a house called Spencer Horowitz. I have 2 full bottles, and the one I hold in my hand is called August Picnic. This is a really fun warm weather fragrance. It's a very grassy perfume, and I typically don't like grassy perfumes, but there was something about this that drew me in, and I love to wear it in the summertime. And let me tell you, it is a compliment getter in the summertime. So I do believe this actually has a note of grass, like grass that grows Not the grass you smoke, but grass, as in grass you see at a picnic. This has strawberry and rhubarb. So it's as if you were out in August having a picnic and you're on the ground, and so you can smell that fresh green grass, and you are eating fresh strawberries, and there's a rhubarb pie kind of out. You're eating fresh strawberries and a rhubarb pie. It's not linear, but those three notes are really the only notes that I detect. Very fresh, very green. It's not sharp, but it's not sweet. It's kind of right in the middle. And the only downside is it doesn't last very long. But one of my coworkers, this is one of the very few fragrances that she actually complimented me on. So I gave her the little sample decant that I had, and she loves it. But August Picnic is a fun one from a really nice house and great for the summertime. So the next one I have is one of the newer ones in my collection. It is by Lake Skye, and this is 1111. And this is the Eau de Parfum. So this is kind of like, this is a musk fragrance. It's a clean musk, almost like your skin, your clean skin, but better. It falls into that category. So this has a clean musk and amber wood, which is a resin. So it's not thick and resinous, but it does have a gentle sweetness to it. So it's clean and fresh, but in my opinion, it does not go into the fresh laundry category, which I actually love. Some people don't care for that. This one does not quite veer into that category, but it still maintains its clean, fresh vibe. It's like your own natural skin that has a slight sweetness to it right after you popped out of the shower. It's lovely. This is one that is a great layering fragrance. I've layered it with one other perfume, and I'm actually interested in getting their body oil because I think that one will layer really, really well with a lot of these perfumes, and will layer well with this because this does, even though this smells great, it is light wearing, so like 2 to 4 hours and I really have to kind of spray myself, but a beautiful clean musk, your skin, your slightly sweet skin but better. And I have their discovery set that I need to go through because I'm really enjoying this offering. Okay, speaking of clean skin, another kind of your sweet, clean skin, but better is by Clean Reserve, and this is Skin. This to me, literally, again, smells like you took a shower and used a sweet, clean body wash. And you came out of the shower and your skin was clean again, but it has a sweetness to it. Now the difference between this and 1111, this one is a little bit more sweet and it's powdery. It's very powdery in the dry down. This has a praline sweetness to it, but it's not overly sweet, so it's not gourmand. It's just a clean musk with gentle praline sweetness that is soft and powdery in the dry down. A beautiful, your skin but better, fresh and clean, one of the most inoffensive perfumes around. If you're one of those people that's really picky and you don't like to wear perfume, boy, this is a really good gateway perfume. And there are many in this line that I enjoy, but Skin is right at the top. I'll tell you what, for an August day, this is the first day that I can remember in August that I was cold. It was cold this morning. Usually in August it is sweltering, but it's been raining for like 2 weeks solid, and this is the first day I've had that I could film outside. Got a nice breeze going, but anyways, the next one is one of the more fancier, cleanly formulated fragrances. It is from a line called Saint Rose, and this one is called Juliet in White. So this is a white tea, woody musk perfume. And this line in general does a great job upcycling. And what I mean by that is they take the materials that one would typically discard in the making of that essential oil, they take that and they utilize those components. So that's called upcycling. And upcycling because they make them better. So anyways, this has white tea, pepper, and tangerine. And I really do think you can smell mostly the white tea and a little bit of the pepper. I didn't get tangerine per se. It has, because the pepper's a little bit heavier, but there's definitely a tartness, like a citrusy tartness to this. It's a very musky perfume, and the musk in here is botanical musk, so there's an ambrette. This has a very clean sandalwood. So light, very light, dry florals. I don't know what the floral components or whatever they upcycled to create a floral nuance, but the florals are gentle and blended. Everything's swimming in this musk, and the dry down has a very nice, clean sandalwood. So this is very polished, it's clean, it's classy, it's very elegant. You're going to want to wear this if you are interested in wearing a cleanly formulated fragrance and you don't want to overwhelm anybody, but you want to smell clean, classy, elegant, and you don't want to smell like anybody else, because this is a very unique fragrance sold on their website and some exclusive department stores. So I liked many in the line. I'll probably end up getting a few more bottles of St. Rose, but this is a good one and a great one for summer. So a fragrance house I've discussed on prior videos is called There Then, and the one I hold today is a great one for summer. It's called Hummingbird Sage, and this brand is female owned, and again, cleanly formulated, small batch, and even the little caps are made from driftwood, from natural driftwood in California. And you can see I've already made a dent in this cute little bottle. So I think the inspiration behind this was from a rose hummingbird sage flower, and I need to look that up. If I can find it, I'll put a picture up on the screen. But the components in here, there's pineapple for sure. There is like a pina colada accord, and there's sage, and I want to say grass, and something else. Something very interesting, maybe pimento, or no, it's tomato. That's what it is, tomato. So it's very fresh. I definitely get that pina colada vibe without the overwhelming coconut. It's more pineapple. It's not sticky sweet. It's not really rummy. It doesn't smell like a cocktail because the grass, the green grass in here and the sage really kind of pull it out of that territory. But it's very fresh. It's fruity but very fresh, green, a little bit botanical, and definitely a little bit of much needed sweetness from that pineapple and pina colada accord. A fun, whimsical, bright, perfect fragrance that I love to wear on really hot days. So I'm going to end part one with the biggest challenge that I have was finding the perfect cleanly formulated vanilla. Let me tell you, I went through a ton of vanilla perfumes. The top three I have in my lab. One is American Cream by Lush. I am a huge fan of Lush. I like most of their things. I don't like some of the more jasmine forward fragrances, but I've always loved American Cream. I fell in love with it with their conditioner. I think they came out first. And a lot of people describe this as like a strawberry milkshake. I get something different. I definitely get aromatics. I get like a lavender, thyme in the opening. It's definitely aromatic. As it dries down, it gets more sweet. I can definitely see how people get like that strawberry shake, but it is a vanilla with some aromatics and natural strawberry in the base. So maybe a strawberry shake with some added freshness from aromatics. I love this, but it's not overly gourmand. A nice gourmandy, sweet, kind of a caramely, fruity, cleanly formulated vanilla is from Pacifica. This is Island Vanilla, and my friend Juliet turned me on to this perfume. I absolutely love it. It's just super light wearing. It's very light, it's whimsical, it's fun. I took this on my vacation. It smells great. It almost has like a caramely vibe, like a caramely fruity vanilla vibe, but it has terrible lasting power. So this is something that you just want if you want to smell very light and sweet for about an hour. It's a great one, but you really have to pile this on and add a body cream underneath. But after much looking and testing, I think I found so far my favorite vanilla, cleanly formulated vanilla, and it is by Rosie Jane, and it is called Dolce. Let me tell you, I tested many fragrances, cleanly formulated vanilla fragrances, to get what I think is my favorite. This is really good. Definitely my favorite from the line. So this has vanilla, chocolate, musk, and the note that scared the heck out of me is hinoki wood. I did not think chocolate and hinoki wood would go together. I think it also has tonka. But anyways, if it doesn't have tonka, I definitely get tonka in here. So this is by far my favorite cleanly formulated vanilla fragrance to date. If you have one and I haven't tried it, let me know in the comments below. And don't tell me Vanilla Milk by Ellis Brooklyn. Was it Vanilla Milk? I tried to forget that fragrance. One of the worst blind buys ever. So this is actually what I wanted vanilla milk. I think it was vanilla milk. This is what I wanted that perfume to be. At its core, it's the best part of vanilla milk, minus the burnt rubber and barbecue chips. Remove that from Ellis Brooklyn vanilla milk and you get this one. So the chocolate is really, really good. The chocolate, I really only get in the beginning. That kind of fades and then it just becomes a clean, smooth, easy, creamy vanilla with wood. It also reminds me a little bit of a very diluted Bianco latte, again, minus the burnt bacon smell. Remove the burnt bacon, remove that little bit of a burnt bacon smell that's in Bianco latte and dilute it. You're gonna come close to this. So this actually has decent longevity, much, much better than Island Vanilla. And I have terrific vanilla lotions that I like to pair with this. So that does it for my part one of my cleanly formulated fragrances. Boy, I really had to work to get it to a manageable number so I could make a video that wasn't an hour long. Part two, again, will be in the colder months because I have a ton of fragrances that fit in this category that I love to wear when it is colder. I will say quickly, one line that you might know is missing are the 7 Virtues. I do have that discovery set, and I will say I enjoyed many, many of these. My favorite, I actually think this is a fabulous, cleanly formulated line. I would actually buy many, many fragrances in this line myself. My favorite was Santal Vanille, but I don't need it because I have so many sandalwood fragrances that I love, but there are so many good ones in this line. And if you haven't checked out, if you're interested, I'm assuming you're interested because you're watching this video, in cleanly formulated brands, I highly recommend trying out the 7 Virtues Discovery Set, which I picked up at my Sephora. They have something for everybody in here. So that's it. If I didn't talk about your favorite cleanly formulated brand or perfume, let me and everybody else know in the comments below. Perfect timing because the local high school band is now starting their warm-up. It's 5 o'clock. So thanks for sticking around. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed your time with me. And with that, take it away, high school band.